Okay, are you familiar with Dolores Cannon? Okay, so Dolores Cannon, actually, it was her husband that was the hypnotherapist. He was an amateur hypnotherapist, and in the 1960s, traditional hypnotherapy, quit smoking, lose weight, break habits, that kind of stuff. And so Dolores was like his assistant, doing secretarial work and that kind of stuff. They still had young children at the time. And so she was in the office helping him out. And he had this client come in, a lady, to maybe lose weight or quit smoking, to break a habit. She came in, he did his thing, putting her under and everything. And all of a sudden, the lady, her personality changed, her voice changed, and she started talking about another time and place. And so Dolores and her husband were just like, what is going on? They didn't understand what was going on because remember, this was in Texas in the 1960s. And most people in America at that time did not believe in reincarnation, right? And so the lady agreed to come back for a few more sessions so they could kind of explore what was going on. And the book, 5 Lives Remembered, is based off of that very first client. That one client is how all of this started. So she did go back to 5 different past lives with them. And then over the next 45 or so years, Dolores developed the technique, Quantum Healing Hypnosis technique, that we'll be using today. And what a lot of people don't realize is after they moved from Texas, they moved to Arkansas. They moved to Huntsville, Arkansas, up in the hills, the mountains, the Ozark Mountains in northern Arkansas, right here in my home state. And QHHT was developed right here in Arkansas, right here in my home state. So I'm very proud of that. And yeah, so that's a little bit about Dolores and how everything kind of got started, and just from that one client. If it wasn't for that one client, you know, this might not exist. So that's just pretty amazing. All right, are you familiar with the brainwave states? Okay, so right now we're having this logical conversation. We're both using the left side of our brain, okay? We're analyzing the data and thinking about what we're going to say. So right now we're both in beta. We're both wide awake having this logical conversation. As soon as we close our eyes, we automatically go into alpha brainwave, alpha state. Alpha state is the flow state, and that's why you'll see people playing guitar and they're doing like an awesome guitar solo. They usually close their eyes. It helps them get into the flow state. When we kiss, we naturally close our eyes. When we make love, we naturally close our eyes because it helps us slow down our brain waves and get us into that flow state of alpha. Right beneath alpha is what we call theta. Theta is what we're going to operate in today for your QHHT session. Theta we naturally go through twice a day. As we're falling asleep and as we're waking up, we naturally go through theta. Theta is that state where you're aware that you're laying in your bed, but you're also already dreaming. You're already somewhere else too. It's like you're in 2 places at once. That's theta. Theta doesn't last too long because not too long after we get into theta, we fall completely asleep, unconscious, snoring. That's delta. And so for today, we're going to hold you in theta. Now, do you have your list of questions for your session today? Okay. All right. So you have the universal question on here. What is your life's purpose? That's the number one question that everybody comes to their session with. Everybody wants to know what their life's purpose is. All right. Another very common question is, what's my soul connection with a certain person? A lot of times it's a spouse or a sibling, somebody you feel a close connection to. A lot of people come with that question. What's my soul connection with my mom or my husband or whoever? And then a lot of people ask questions about, how can I connect with my higher self? Number one thing that everybody is told is they need to meditate. Meditation. Meditate. They need to meditate. Meditate more. They need to meditate. That's the number one thing that I hear in these sessions is they need to meditate more. So spending time with your higher self, and you can do that through meditation. That's how you can receive the clarity and the information and the downloads and build that trust and rapport and connection with your higher self. Because we're always guided. We're always being guided. And the way you can get into communion with your true self, your higher self, is through meditation. So that is the number one thing, is how can I connect with my higher self? Meditation. So right now your consciousness is focused on this time and place. During this QHHT session, we're going to take your focus off of this time and place, off of this timeline, and we're going to place your focus in another time and place. And then we may change the focus to another time and place. We're just shifting focus. It's very natural, very simple what we're doing here today. All we're doing is shifting your focus off of this timeline and onto another time and place that your consciousness is connected to. Now, it's important to remember that I'm not having the experience like you are. I'm not seeing and hearing and, having the experience like you. I'm still sitting here in my office asking you these questions and recording the session for you to have for later. So when I ask you a question, it's important for you to remember to tell me the very first thing that comes to mind. Tell me in as much detail as possible. And I want you to remember that this is natural and simple, what we're doing here today.